Hello. I just wanted to do a garden video for July. It's July 6th. Um, our nights here are still, they get to about high 40s, low 50s, and go around that range. So it actually feels really great and it's great for the plants, but I feel like a lot of my plants aren't very big yet because I had to plant so late. Even after planting in June, we still had a few nights that got below freezing. So anyways, I'm just going to do a little tour. My radishes here went to seed. I think it's just too hot for them. They just, I don't know, they just sprouted to seed really fast. So I won't be eating them, I guess. When they sprout to seed and you pick them, the core of it is really hard. Like you can't really bite through it. So yeah, I'm okay anyways. And the turnips, I got one turnip that was really big. I don't think I really like them. I mean, I ate it raw with salad, so I'm sure I could cook it and maybe have it taste better. I don't know. Nobody else really ate it either, so I don't I don't care to have turnips again, I don't think. I was just using some seeds I had already had. The spinach is done for the year. It just got too hot and died. Um, I think the beans are doing pretty good. They're not really growing as big as I thought they would. And then, so I planted 2 rows of beans, and then I planted 4 rows of Boston pickling cucumbers. And I have 2 of them here that did really well and that are huge. And then all the rest of them are still pretty small, but they still look healthy and are growing. So all this lettuce in here is just lettuce that came back from last year. So I'll probably go through this soon and weed out the lettuce just to give everything else some more room. And then same with all these tomato plants popping up. I'm going to keep the tomato plants because these are the biggest ones I have. But they just sprouted up from last year. I actually had my tomatoes on the other side of the greenhouse, but when I had my chickens in here throughout the winter, they ate all my tomatoes and the tomato plants, and then they just pooped tomato seeds all over my garden. So I just have random tomatoes literally everywhere, and I kind of love it. I'm not really going to pick the tomato plants unless it's in a spot that's, harming another plant. But anyways, so yeah, that is a mixture of cucumber, tomato, and lettuce. And then I did 4 rows of beets, and they should be ready probably any week now. I'm hoping to get them all ready so I can pick them and bottle them all at the same time. But the beets are doing good. Me and my friend actually picked 2 decent sized ones. Oh, it was a couple days ago, and they were delicious. And I did 5 rows of lettuce, and it's just so funny. I got a few that came up from planting them, but it's just funny. The ones that I planted didn't do very well, but then I've got this giant batch of lettuce that just pops up on its own from last year. So, but you know what? That's okay because I have a bunch of tomato plants growing in here. And like I said, I'm just going to let the lettuce grow, the tomato plants grow. And it is, the hotter it gets, my lettuce is getting a little bit more bitter anyways, so it's not really going to last much longer. And then I did plant some more tomatoes here. They're doing all right. I mean, everything looks healthy. They're just pretty small. Chives did not come up. I might have, so I did some Big Jim chili peppers and Anaheim peppers. I do not see. Maybe one Big Jim chili pepper over. It's a tiny little guy right there. Tiny, tiny. So I doubt I'll really get much from that. My cilantro did amazing. I've actually never, well, no, I did grow some cilantro last year, but I think I literally grew 1 plant. And this year, I just ran my finger down the middle and I just sprinkled seeds. And so, I don't know, I've been eating it. It's great. It's actually really strong. And my potatoes are doing great. My first year I had potatoes. I didn't do anything with them. I did not mound them. I did potatoes last year. They didn't really do well. But anyways, I tried mounding them this year, and I have been, but I think I need to like haul in a giant thing of dirt, I guess. I need to look it up too. I don't know how high to go. You know, like I mounded the roots more, but do I need to just cover everything but the tops? Do I need to, you know, a foot? I don't know. I'll figure it out and hopefully still get some potatoes because the top looks beautiful. All these beans are doing really good. So when I planted my beans last year, they did not do well. They didn't really survive. They didn't really grow. And so I planted like 4 times as many as I did last year, and they all came up and they're all growing. So it's really great, but I hope I didn't plant them too close together. I hope they're still going to actually grow and give me something to eat. So that would be nice. Let's see. Some squash coming up there. Kaboka squash? I don't know. I planted a bunch of beets here. I think some jalapeno peppers. None of that has come up yet. It was just a few weeks ago. Some zucchini here. That's just barely coming up. I hope I'm not really too worried about the zucchini. Zucchini seems to do really well and take off. It just depends on if I planted too late. And then over here, some more. I got some sunset beans, sweet dumpling squash, acorn squash. I did a few rows. You know, none of my lavender has come up. I did 2 different kinds of lavender. Well, 2 different packets and brands. But all those are sugar pie pumpkins. I hope they do well. It's my favorite pumpkin. It just makes really great soup and pies, and I just love it. My corn's doing pretty good. I planted pole beans in between the corn. I think my seeds are bad. I need to order some more for next year. I feel like by the time I needed to, it was too late. There's 1 bean coming up there. I think a bean coming up there. So we'll see. You know, even when I had beans come up between my corn last year, they didn't grow. So everything's just a learning process. Trial and error. These are all pumpkins for carving. I just call them big pumpkins. Somebody gave me the seeds and they did really well last year, so I just did them again. Let's see, so I did some honeydew melon right here, which I've never grown before, but I had seeds. A lot of them I just, you know, wanted to get rid of seeds or test them out. So like my cauliflower didn't come up, celery didn't come up. This is white scallop squash. I'm gonna have a ton of different kinds of squash and beans. I traded seeds with a friend and she had tons of squash, and so I'm excited though. And tons of beans. No carrots are coming up right there. I don't know if I just haven't waited long enough, or I don't know. Or my basil. Basil did not come up. So I have an earlier video of just these tomato plants. A friend gave them to me and they were doing really well inside her house. They were like 3 feet tall. She put them outside and they just kind of just wilted. And so she gave them to me. So they look a little sad, but actually they are coming back. There's like really fresh leaves right here, fresh leaves over here. They're actually doing really great and coming back. They just need to grow some more. So just give it some time. I think it's been a few weeks. I had these green Hubbard squash last year and they were delicious, and I saved seeds from them and nothing's come up, so I didn't save my seeds correct, I guess. Same with the Brussels sprouts. Actually, the Brussels sprouts were just seeds that I planted last year and none of them came up this year. But all those little green things is all the calendula seeds that I had. My calendula did so good last year, and I actually dried a bunch of the flowers and saved a bunch of the seeds, and it does really well. So as long as nothing's actually popping up here, like my Brussels sprouts, I might as well leave the calendula there. I actually started saving the calendula. If I find a big plant, I'll pick it and plant it in a pot, and it's been doing all right. So hopefully I can just plant them in pots and it won't take over. Let's see. I've never done garlic before, but I just got a garlic out of the house and planted it and it didn't do anything. I have some watermelon here, orange flesh watermelon. My dill did not come up at all. So sad. Sugar baby watermelon, more radishes, which I bet will just be too hot and go to seed. I'll be surprised if it even does anything. Let's see, I got one of my peppers came up, and then one pepper on this side, followed by just a ton of tomato seeds around it. Same over here. None of my peppers. There might be 3 pepper plants. And they're tiny, so you know they're probably not even really going to do anything. Oh, I did a row of tomatillos. I need to like check these plants. I don't even know if they're tomatillos or if they're weeds, but I got 2 of them. I hope they're tomatillos. Some tomatoes came up. I planted some Roma tomato seeds because I love Roma tomatoes for salsa, but just haven't had good luck since I've moved to Panguitch. It's just not the best area for gardening. Bunch of carrots. I hope those do well. I did 4 rows of carrots. Cabbage. I've never done cabbage before, but they look pretty good so far. And then my onions. My onions, I think it's the first thing I planted, so they're doing really well. I mean, it looks like they are from the top, so I hope underneath the dirt I have some decent onions. So let's see, that's the sides. My neighbor gave me this raspberry plant, and I need to plant it somewhere. I just don't know where. I have some different variety of corn over here. It's doing pretty good. I don't see any beans coming up over here yet. Oh, and then more cucumbers, and then my peas right here. I mean, my peas aren't very tall, but I've probably eaten like 10 of them already today, so they taste great. I just eat the whole thing, and it's kind of yummy when I'm out here. I have a few mammoth sunflowers. They're doing pretty good. I have a few things outside. So that's horseradish. I just need to get it planted. And all these little flowers here are marigolds that Summer and Autumn helped plant. Let's see what I have out here. A lot of wildflowers. I was trying to attract the bees, and some of them just came back. I have some mint growing back. It actually spread quite a bit, which is nice. I have one thing of dill, so I'm hoping I can save some seeds from that. That's all I got this year. Some more horseradish. You know what? My friend even told me what this was. Wait, it smells really good. I think that's that. Oh my gosh, I wish I knew what it was called right now. I forgot. Anyways, and then I have 2 tiny little raspberry plants. At least they came back from last year, but I have to keep watering. My yarrow came back great. So I have this white yarrow, which I've been meaning to pick the flowers and dry them so I can make teas or salves or something with them. And then these look like they're going to be red. I'm so excited. Red yarrow. So yeah, my friend gave me these last year and I just planted them here and they just exploded. And I can't remember what this was. I totally forgot. Yep, not going to think of it right now. But anyways, yeah, just some plants. I feel like this is a type of thyme. Yeah. And then good old gumweed. I mean, we just get gumweed everywhere, but we made some tinctures with it last year. And then my daylilies and irises out here. I actually had a daylily the other day for the first time. That's another of these flowers that somebody gave me last year. So some of these things take a few years to actually produce things. Like my lavender plant. I actually have lavender flowers. Yay! I guess that's something I'd like to save also. It's beautiful out here tonight though. Okay, well, that's about it. I have 5 chickens in here. They're growing their feathers back. Hi, ladies. Okay, bye, ladies. That's about it.